I'm sstonesifer. Welcome to Commercial Industrial Solar. We're exiting the fog of war on this climate bill. In fact, as we speak, somewhere on another camera, Joe Biden is signing this puppy right now. Why is the Inflation Reduction Act going to dramatically increase the rate of solar adoption among commercial and municipal organizations? Imagine your electric bill is $500,000 monthly and a new energy source comes along that is not competitive economically. The US government starts subsidizing this new energy source to make it competitive, but each escalation in subsidy only adds viability for a new bit of the overall market. So what portion of your solar project needs to be paid for by incentives before it's financially viable for everyone? If your electric bill is significant to operating P&L, you need a big enough subsidy that the right financial model can make the decision either cash flow positive today or crank the ROI down to about a year? Previous to this bill, viability of on-site solar was dependent on jurisdiction, with federal and state write-offs covering 44 to 56% of the cost of a project, with both write-off and bonus depreciation. State incentives might cover between nothing and 50% of the project, and a clever enough financial model could make a project cash flow positive anywhere. This new bill is a serious escalation. There was a supply chain catastrophe earlier this year when a federal trade case shut down all imports of solar panels to the US for about a quarter. In contrast to that harrowing experience, from where I'm sitting, the Inflation Reduction Act guarantees the C&I solar industry is here to stay because it subsidizes American equipment production and throws so much federal money on the pile that it's going to be expensive to not have solar in the mix at your operation. There's something even more important than the increase in tax breaks. It's the ability to sell the tax credit. It's time to name everyone who has little to no use for a tax credit. Nonprofits, schools, public works, real estate investment trusts, and any corporation that has not been profitable on the books, and therefore will not be paying taxes until their stacked up carry-forwards run dry a year or 3 or 5 years from now. It's not fun to be left out. All of those entities were out of luck on a gigantic federal subsidy. Now that they can sell their tax credits to someone who can use them, they're back in the driver's seat. Number 3. Government agencies never have tax liability, but there's a provision in the bill for what's called direct pay. The feds will directly pay the 30% ITC to the developer for government agencies. A huge viability bump for schools, public works, park districts, etc. They are making it easy. Number 4. Hey, there's an extra 10% tax credit for using 55% American-made equipment. The problem is there isn't very much American-made equipment around at the moment. Expect that to change over the next 5 years as the manufacturing side subsidies result in more American module production. Number 5. There's an extra 10% tax credit for former energy communities. Coal mining communities might be the target of this. I'm expecting an official list to appear from Department of Energy eventually. I found a map at energycommunities.gov which might indicate which regions will be included. The map I've got includes big swipes of Pennsylvania, Colorado, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Texas, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Florida, Arizona. This is episode 1, so when this gets all sorted out and I've got a podcast website up with a transcript, I'll be sure and post the updates on Energy Community Lookup on the episode page. I'm going to try to keep these brief and dense, but exciting times for government monkeying with the free market. They've really made it impossible to ignore solar at the C&I scale. These opportunities used to be very conditional, and with nonprofits, REITs, governments, and non-taxed for-profits back in the mix, it's going to be a total free-for-all in every category in every state. Welcome to the next 10 years of commercial industrial solar.